Hello everyone. In today's class, we are going to learn Kirchhoff's laws. It is very important because they are asking LAQ in IP on this, so you should understand properly. So let's start. Kirchhoff's laws. Kirchhoff's laws. So there are two laws, right? So first one is Kirchhoff's first law. The first law is what? Kirchhoff's first law. This law is also called as junction law or current law. What we are calling it as a junction law or current law. Is that clear? So what is this law about? Let's see. So see what this law says. So we can write like this. Sum of currents flowing towards junction is equal to sum of currents leaving the junction. Okay. Sum of currents flowing towards the junction is equal to sum of currents leaving the junction. Or you can write like this also, or you can write like this. The algebraic sum of current at a junction is 0. At a junction is 0. Let's see one example so that you will understand the meaning of these statements, we can say. So see here, I am taking, this is a one junction. You can see this blue dot, or else we'll make it as a red. So this is a junction, suppose, right? And now let's assume that some currents are coming like this towards the junction, and some are leaving also. Some are coming here some are leaving like this. Let's see. Let us suppose this is I1, this is I2, this is I3, and this one is I4. So see here, according to this law, sum of currents flowing towards junction is equal to sum of currents leaving the junction. So what is coming towards the junction? Let us suppose this is a O point, O junction we can say. So here can I write like this? I1 and I2 are incoming currents, right? So I1 and I2 are flowing towards junction, flowing towards junction, and I3 and I4 flowing away from the junction, we can say, or leaving the junction also you can say, or leaving the junction. So therefore here I can write like this: I1 sum of incoming currents is equal to sum of outgoing currents. Yes or not? So if I will transfer these terms here, then I1 plus I2 plus minus I3 plus minus I4 is equal to 0. Therefore, I can say that this algebraic sum of currents meeting at a junction is equal to 0. Is that clear? Note down this. Note down. Okay, next. Let's see. So one point you write down here: incoming current, incoming currents has positive sign and outgoing currents has negative sign. Can you see there? See here. Those which are coming towards junction I1 and I2, I have taken them as a positive sign. Though these two I3 and I4 are leaving the junction, therefore I have taken negative sign. Next, one more point about this law. See here, what is that point? We can say this law is accordance with law of conservation of charge. This law is accordance with this law is accordance with accordance with law of conservation of charge. Law of conservation of charge, you know, charge can neither be created nor destroyed, but it can transfer from one body to another body, but the total charge of the system remains constant. Law of conservation of charge. Okay, so this is what? Law of conservation of charge. This law. is accordance with. Means disobeys, we can say. So let's solve one problem so that you will understand nicely. This law. Find x and y values from following figure. Okay, what you have to do? You have to find x and y from following figure. So let's see what is the question. Like this figure is there. This current is 5 ampere. This junction is junction P and this junction is junction Q. Here it is X. This is 3 ampere. This one is 1 ampere. This one is Y. And this one is 0.5 ampere. So what you have to find? X and Y you have to find. So let's solve now this problem. Okay, so shall we solve? See here what I am writing. First I am doing for this at junction P. For junction P I am doing. So see, for junction P, see what are incoming currents? Only 5 ampere is coming. So sum of incoming currents, shall I write like this? Sum of incoming currents, is equal to sum of outgoing currents. Sum of outgoing currents. So see here, what is incoming current for junction P? You can see here at junction P only 5 ampere is coming, this and this is leaving. So therefore shall I write like this? 5 is equal to 3 plus x. You can see here this is a junction, right? So from this junction only one is coming, these two are leaving the junction. Therefore 5 is equal to x plus 3, and therefore this 3 will go here. X is equal to 2 ampere. We got x value, isn't it? Check it once, right? X is equal to 2 ampere. Next one now, I am taking for junction Q, or at junction Q we can say, at junction Q, similarly again incoming current, sum of incoming currents is equal to sum of outgoing currents. Here what is coming? Only 3 ampere is coming. So therefore 3 is equal to 1 plus y plus 0.5, 1 plus y plus 0.5, and therefore 3 is equal to 1.5 plus y. If this 1.5 is going here, 3 minus 1.5, and therefore you are getting answer for this y is equal to 1.5 ampere. Understand? Very easy problems, right? So this is what your answer of the question. That is what he is asking to find the values of x and y. Right? So note down this, try to understand. Just sum of incoming currents is equal to sum of outgoing currents. That's it, you keep it in mind, nothing more. It will be very easy for you. Got it? Okay, right. Let's move ahead now. I will give one more problem which is very easy. You can try yourself. One more problem, you try yourself. Very easy. This is very simple problems. So again, find x comma y from following figure. Try to do it properly. This is 8 ampere. This is 2 ampere. This is 3 ampere. This one is x. Here it is. Keep here as the junction P. This one is junction Q, and this one is junction R. This side is again 5 ampere. This one is Y, and this one is 2 ampere. Here it is 1 ampere. You take here as a 8 ampere. How much here you will take? 8 ampere you take here. 8 ampere. This one. So what you have to find? X and Y from these junctions. Clear? So do it yourself. Solve it. Very easy. Just at that junction, you have to see how many currents are coming and how many are leaving. Just sum of them and find out X and Y. Okay, will you do now? Okay. So let's move ahead. Now, second one, that is Kirchhoff's second law. Second law, because this one we have seen first law, that is Kirchhoff's first law or junction law. Now, here we are having second law, that is Kirchhoff's second law. This law is also called as voltage law or loop law. What we are calling it as a loop law or voltage law. Right? So let's see what is the statement of this law. Okay, this is your second law. Kirchhoff's second law, loop law or voltage law. So how is the statement here? This law states that the algebraic sum of changes in potential, the algebraic sum of changes in potential around any closed loop. Keep it in mind, this should be in a closed loop. Around any closed loop, around any closed loop is equal to 0. Is 0. This is what the statement is. That is what we can say algebraic sum of all potentials is equal to 0. This is what your second law, Kirchhoff's second law. And what is its name? Another name we can say loop law or voltage law. One more point, if suppose in the circuit you are having EMFs and potentials, we can say, that is potential drops and EMFs, then how we can write this law? In terms of potential drops and EMFs. In terms of potential drops and EMFs, the law is expressed as summation of E plus summation of IR is equal to 0. Here also, see, this is the potential drop, this is the EMF sources. So this is what your law is equal to 0. Clear? So this is just a statement, but you will understand when you are learning sign conventions and when we will take one example, then you will understand better. Okay, so first see here one more time, what is this Kirchhoff's second law? The algebraic sum of changes in potential around any closed loop is equal to 0, and therefore summation of phi is equal to 0. In terms of potential drops and EMFs, the law is expressed as summation of E plus summation of IR is equal to 0. So for that, what are the sign conventions? which are very, very important. First, note down this. Finished? Okay. So let's move ahead. What are the sign conventions for this? What are the sign conventions? Sign conventions. So number one, only two I am taking. That is, there are only two things if it is resistance and what you can say, EMF sources. Then for this first rule is for IR direction. IR direction. Or you write sign for IR. Okay, IR direction, or you write like this. We will make change. We will write like this. Sign of sign for IR. Or you write like this. Determination of sign of IR. Right? So see, first one, minus IR when and plus IR when. Minus IR and plus IR. When we should take minus IR, when we should take plus IR. In the direction of current, this is having minus. What is this? In the direction of current. In the direction of current. Plus when we have to take opposite to the direction of current. Opposite to the direction of current is what? Plus IR. Keep it in mind. Next one, second sign convention, we can say sign for EMF source. Determination of sign of E. Determination of sign of EMF source, that is capital E. So when it is minus E when, and when we are going to take plus E. So minus E when we have to take from negative to positive terminal of battery. No, wait. I will write like this. From positive to negative, है ना? Yes. From positive to negative terminal of battery. And here it is what? From negative to positive terminal of battery. Then you can take E as a minus. And third one, you can select loop either clockwise or anti-clockwise. either clockwise or anti-clockwise. I will tell you one example here only, concentrate. So let's see one example so that you will understand these laws. Very small and easy example I am taking so that you can understand. So let's consider one circuit first. This is a circuit. Okay. So this is what the circuit which I have drawn. You can check here, this is a closed loop, and here I am connecting one battery. This is positive and negative. Only one battery I am connecting now. For the time being, this is E, this is plus, and this is minus. And so current is flowing in this direction, I, like this. This is current direction. Okay, this is what? Current direction. This is R1 and this one is R2. Now let's select a loop. So I am giving some names here, A, B, C, and D. So I am taking like this loop. This is in clockwise direction. This is loop direction. It is in the direction of current. No matters. You can take either anti-clockwise or clockwise also. So you start from this point A. From where you will start is from point A. Now see here. First, I have started from, so for loop A, B, C, D, A. For loop A, B, C, D, A. What I am doing, see. You see here A to B I am going. A to B, what is there? I and R is there. So this is also one potential drop. There across this resistance, there is a potential drop. Yes. Now how you are going? In the direction of current. In the direction of current, you are having what? Minus IR. So here minus I into this R1. Understand? One more time, see. I have taken loop A, B, C, D, A. Clockwise loop I have taken. I am going from A to B. It means it is in the direction of current I am going. Therefore, I into R1 has negative sign according to the sign convention. Next, I came at point B. Now B to C also again I am going B to C. B to C means again in the direction of current. So here it is minus I into R2. I came at this point now. A to B, B to C. Now C to D I am going. What is in the path? EMF source. How you are going from negative to positive? So that therefore here it is what? Plus E. Why? Because you see here negative to positive terminal of battery. Negative to positive terminal of battery, you are having plus E. So therefore plus E. And this is equal to 0. Now if I want from this I value, you can do easily. So what you are getting here? IR1 plus IR2 is equal to E. One step I am reducing. What is that? If I will transfer here, this is minus E and throughout minus cancelled, I got this. And therefore from this I am getting I is equal to E divided by R1 plus R2. This is what my current equation which I got from this Kirchhoff's law. Yes or not? Understand? You can take I common R1 plus R2 is equal to E, and therefore I is equal to E by R1 plus R2. Understand? Clear? So see once, do it yourself, then you will understand how it is. Do it. And here, one note point I am writing. This law represents conservation of energy. That is conservation of charge. This is conservation of energy. If they will ask theoretical question, which law represents conservation of charge? You will say first law. Second question, which law represents conservation of energy? Which you will say second law. Understood? Sir, if this same problem I have taken in anti-clockwise, will we get same answer? This is a doubt. See here. I am having a doubt. See here. Doubt. If I will choose path in anti-clockwise direction, will I get same answer? Will I get same answer? Will I get same answer? If I will choose path in anti-clockwise direction, will I get same answer? So let's see. In the previous same problem I am taking again so that we can solve this. Let's see. So here we are having one resistance connected. Then again we are having here another resistance connected. And here is a battery. Yes. And this path is directly closed. Okay. Like this is our problem. So here is R1 resistance connected. This is R1. This one is R2. This is positive terminal of battery and this one is negative terminal of battery. Negative and this is positive and its value is capital E. Right? And now current direction will remain same. No change in current direction because current always flows from positive to negative. Don't confuse. This is current direction. This is I. I am taking same points A, B, C and D. But what I am changing, I am taking here now anti-clockwise direction of the loop. See here how I have taken direction, anti-clockwise direction. So let's see what are the changes we are getting here. So for loop A, D, C, B, A, isn't it? What I took, I have taken loop in anti-clockwise direction. So let's see what we are getting here. Now A to D I am going first. A to D nothing is there. Then I came at this D point. Then D to C I am going. This side I am going. D to C I am going means you are going from positive to negative terminal. So I am having minus E. Then now I came at this point. C to B I am going opposite to the direction of current. Opposite to the direction of current, what we are having plus I into R2. है ना, plus I into R2. You want here also small I? Wait, I will make here also small I. So this is what your small I, and this one also we will make it as a small I, so that same like previous one, because in previous one we have taken small I. Okay, no problem. So let's take this also as a small I current. Okay, this is also I, here also I. So how I am taking, look, you see, plus to minus, minus. Then now I came C to B, I am going C to B, opposite to the direction of current. I am coming from C to B. Current is flowing B to C, so opposite. That's why plus, plus I into R2. Yes or not? Next, I came at this point B to A, again I am going, again opposite direction of current, so plus I into R1, which is equal to 0. Transfer this E that side, so I R2 plus I R1. This minus E, when it is coming ahead, you are getting E, and therefore if I am taking I common, R1 plus R2 is equal to E, and therefore here also you are getting the same answer, that is I is equal to E by R1 plus R2. And therefore what I said, the answer will remain same, either you take clockwise or anti-clockwise direction. Understand? So this sign conventions, try to understand properly. Minus to plus, plus E, plus to minus, minus E. In the direction of current, IR has negative sign. Opposite to the direction of current, IR has positive sign. One more time, listen. Yes, what are the sign convention? Read here. In the direction of current, IR has minus sign. Opposite to the direction of current, IR has positive sign. Minus to plus, plus E. Plus to minus, minus E. Is that clear? So read it, practice it, okay, and note down this part. Yes, finished. Okay. Next one. One problem I want to solve so that you will understand better. So see here, this problem I'm going to solve now. Solve for current values in figure. Solve for current values in figure. So see here what type of figure they are giving. So in this side you are having I1. This is 8 volt comma 1 ohm, means this battery has inter resistance of 1 ohm, and through this you are having current is I1. Next one here also I1. This current is I2, and from this these two are going ahead, so this is what I3. Through this also I3, and this resistance is 9 ohm. Okay, is that clear? And the name is A, B, C, D, E and F. So what you want to find? You want to find I1 and I2 and I3. I1, I2 and I3 you want to find. Clear? How to solve this now? So let's start solving this problem. See here, for loop I am taking first of all for loop A, B, E, F, A. For loop A, B, E, F, A. So how I am selecting loop? Like this, anti-clockwise direction, isn't it? And this battery potential is how much here? They have given 12 volt 1.5 ohm. 12 volt comma 1.5 ohm. Let's start. For this loop, what we are getting? See. So first I am coming from A to B. There is nothing. B to E I am going. There is battery. So plus to minus I am going. So minus 12. Yes, minus 12. Next. Now again here. Yes or not? Here it is what? Let's see. But for this, what we can say, inter resistance also we should take no this IR. So here it is opposite to the direction of current. So plus 1.5 into I2. 1.5 into I2. 5 plus opposite direction of current. For this internal resistance I am talking about, not for battery. Battery finished, only plus and minus, minus. But current is flowing here, you are going like this. So therefore plus 1.5 into I2. Next you came at this point, then here, then again this 1 ohm, and this is in the direction of current, therefore minus I1 into 8, and this is minus and this is plus for battery, so therefore this is plus 8 is equal to 0, right? So this is, you do 8 minus 12, how much you are getting? Minus 4. This is how much? Plus 1.5 I2, and this is minus 8 I1 is equal to 0. Right or wrong? Check it once. No, no, here it is I1, no, so this is 1 ohm, right? 1 minute, 1 minute. Check it here. This one is 1. Yes or not? Inter resistance, how much we are having, Ray? So this is 1 ohm here. You change it there, okay? So this is 1, not 8. Yes, so there it is 1. 1 minute. I will change it. Complete equation. One more time we will make. Not an issue. Okay. So see here. So for loop A, B, E, F, A we are going. So A to B, B to E I am going. So B to E, when I am going, first this is there, battery. So plus to minus we are going, therefore minus 12. Minus 12. Next, for this interresistance, opposite direction of current plus 1.5 into I2, and again here in the direction of current minus 1 into I1, because 1 is internal resistance, I1 is the current, and minus to plus you are going, therefore this is plus 8 is equal to 0, and hence if we will solve this, how much you are getting here? What we are getting, see, minus I1 plus 1.5 I2 minus 12 plus 8 minus 4 is equal to 0. So if we will multiply with minus sign, then what we are getting? I1 minus 1.5 I2 plus 4 is equal to 0, and therefore here I am getting I1 minus 1.5 I2 is equal to minus 4. This is your equation number 1, isn't it, right? You can check it now. Now it is perfect, I can check it. Okay, so next, now for loop BCDEB. Next loop what I am taking, see, for loop BCDEB. For loop BCDEB. BCDEB. So here B to C I am going again here. So this is in the direction of current minus 9 into I3. Hai IR minus. Then here D to E nothing. Then again here minus to plus. So plus 12, and this 1.5 in the direction of current. So minus 1.5 I2 is equal to 0. So what we are getting here? Minus 1.5 I2 minus 9 I3. Okay, yes, minus 9 I3 minus 9 I3 minus 9 I3. Next, here it is. What is left? Plus 12, hai na? Plus 12 is equal to 0. If I am transferring this here, then minus 12, hai na? Minus 1.5 I2 minus 9 I3 is equal to minus 12. If I am multiplying with minus, then I am getting 1.5 I2 plus 9 I3 is equal to 12. And you see at junction A, at so you can call it as equation number something 2, right? You can keep this equation as equation number 2. So let us assume that this is equation number 2. At the junction B, from first law, from junction law, we can say, from junction law, what we are getting, check, I1 plus I2 is equal to I3, hai na? I1 plus I2 is equal to I3, and therefore here in the case of I3 you can substitute I1 and I2. So substitute here at the place of this I3. So therefore equation 2 becomes 1.5 I2 plus 9 into I1 plus I2 is equal to minus 12. Plus 12, hai na? It's plus, not minus. So do it this one. Next, 1.5 I2 plus 9 I1 plus 9 I2. 9 I1 plus 9 I2 is equal to 12. Right. So Here what I am getting, this 9 I2 and 1.5 I2, how much? 10.5 I2 plus 9 I1 is equal to 12. Call this equation number 3. Now you do one thing, solve these two equations, equation 1 and 3. Two unknowns, two equations. Solving equation, this one, which one? This equation 1 we can say, 1 and 3. Solving equation 1 and 3, because there are two unknowns and two equations. You are getting I1 is equal to minus 1 ampere. Okay. I1 is equal to minus 1 ampere and I3 is equal to 1 ampere. Okay, from this you can find out I1 is equal to what, or I1 plus I2 is equal to I3, no? So I1 plus I2 is equal to I3, and if you want I2 you can find out from this. So these are the values we can say. You better you keep in the equation and try to solve yourself. It is very easy. Okay, so these are the answers. You try to solve. What is the answers, or what are the answers? I1 is equal to minus 1, I3 is equal to 1 ampere. Check karo, right? Solve the equations and do it yourself. So let's stop here and bye for today.